Hi, my name is Mazi Obasiazi Prosper Ikenna, Director Ahana Initiative. And today I have a very special guest with me to really dissect the myths surrounding herbal medicine. And then again, you might want to ask, is herbal medicine an alternative medicine? With me here to actually lay to bed these claims, I have a very important personality by the person of Dr. Prince. Dr. Prince is my very good friend, and he has made a name for himself as an herbal doctor and with several years of results. So join me as we make welcome Dr. Prince.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Prosper.
So Dr. Prince, before we just dive into this, I like to read the scripture. Okay. And it's in Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, and it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed." It's herbs he's talking about. This is Genesis.
Yeah.
"I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be meat." Meaning that all the herbs that God has given to us should be food. So I'm just thinking from the religious point of view, that the herbs that God gave, God saw that they are actually medicines in these herbs, and that was why He gave it to us as foods.
Okay.
I don't know if you've come across this verse before.
Something like that.
You've come across it before.
Something like that.
Okay, so now let's dive into our point of discussion. Why herbal doctor? Upon all the professions in the world, what inspired you to become an herbal doctor? Herbal doctor. Herbal doctor. Hey. hey.
Like I used to say, herbal doctor is just a result. The result that comes with it.
Is a result that comes with
it.
Okay.
Because I get to understand that there were things that we could not get from the medical system. Even school could not give.
Okay.
School could not provide it. So it started from my forefathers. It laid down to my dad.
Your forefathers?
Yes.
Were herbal doctors?
Yes, they were herbal doctors.
Okay.
So from there,
passed down to your dad.
To my dad.
Now passed down to you.
Yes.
So it's a generation of herbal doctors.
Yes, it was. You can say that. You can actually say that, right? So growing up, I actually met him on that field, and one of the reasons
met him doing what exactly?
Into herbal treatment.
And have there been results?
There have been results so far.
What kind of diseases did you see him treat?
We're having cases like leg ulcer, stroke.
So sorry.
Okay.
Leg ulcer.
Stroke.
These are big names.
They are big names.
You're not talking about headache, back pain. No. You're talking about leg ulcer, like the leg is decayed.
No. I mean
maggots are coming out. The leg is gone.
Leg ulcer. We have
stroke.
Stroke.
Where a particular part of the body is dead.
Yes. So
and you've seen results.
A lot of results. A lot. People coming from
these are what
states.
Medical fields give up on.
Yes. And one of the most shocking results I received when growing up was a particular patient whose father was well to do.
Okay.
Right? And then they had the privilege to travel overseas. And after a series of treatment and thereabout, the patient happens to look like he or she have recovered. And funny enough, they flew down to Nigeria. After some time, boom.
Things got bad again.
So as God will have it, he was able to see someone who knew my dad.
Okay.
And then he was introduced. And funny enough, when they arrived, I could remember that very day. It was a Sunday morning. They arrived, and that day it was also raining. So nothing could really be done much that Sunday. So they reschedule and they make an appointment and all that. And then when they came, the day that they were given an appointment to come, and That was how I see the power of herbs, providing all that he could give. And sincerely speaking, that is not the first case, that is not the second case, that is not the third case, that is not the fourth case, that is not even the 10th case. And it have always been result. Like you seeing a patient coming in a certain way,
Okay.
and then he or she is returning back not with the identity they came with, because sickness is an identity.
Sickness is an identity.
So that is how it works.
I listened to you sometime last year, and then you said herbal doctors are not mere men.
Okay.
Should I be afraid of you? Spiritual powers.
No.
So are you an ordinary man? Are you a mere man? As a medical herbal doctor?
Well, I'm not a normal human being.
You're not a normal human being.
I'm not a normal human being, because every normal human being has their own lifestyle they live. But there's certain lifestyle I'm not permitted to live.
Yes, some certain lifestyle you're not permitted to
I'm
live.
not permitted to live. If I won't like to go into that in details, right?
Okay.
But if I'm to just give an example of one,
Okay.
is social lifestyle.
Social lifestyle.
Social lifestyle.
So as an herbal doctor, because you're not a mere man, you're not allowed to have a social lifestyle. So if you do, it will have a ripple effect on your performance.
It kind of how will I put it? There's a kind of an effect that gives you when you have too much contact with human beings.
Okay.
Because sometimes I get to discover that people have certain kind of spirit that follows them. So when you are an herbal doctor, you are most likely to have like a limitations of friends you keep, people you associate with, so that you will not endanger yourself along your profession. Because why? As an herbal doctor, you are most likely a threat. You are most likely a threat, or you will always have a threat.
So, still on the aspect of you're not a mere man. You're not a mere man because your hands or because of your head. Which one?
Okay, it's the spiritual side of myself that makes me portray that image that I'm not a mere man. Because like I said before, there's a kind of a restrictions.
It's a kind of
a restriction that follows herbal doctors. There are certain lifestyle we can't live. There are certain kind of things you are not expected to do. Like I used to say over the years, I said, as an herbal doctor, whatever that corrupts your eyes, I've destroyed your profession.
What corrupts your eyes?
Whatever that corrupts your eyes, I've destroyed your profession. Because you will not be able to function well. Because the word helps is a realm. Yeah, the word helps is a realm.
Okay.
The mystery surrounding helps, particularly, is a strange mystery.
The mysteries surrounding
helps.
Yes.
In total and some total, right, is a strange mystery. It's not the kind of story we always often to hear, or something that is always you hear it every no. It's a strange one. A lot of people does not know the history that follows herbs.
Yes, please. I would like to know the history that follows herbs, because there have been stories about men in the past who disappeared.
Okay.
And sometimes they attribute it to herbal doctors.
Okay, like I said, over the years, and I've always said over time, the history of how everything began,
okay,
was that on a normal days of activities,
okay,
men decided to go to their various farms, the one who goes to cultivate, the one who goes to plant, and the one who goes to weed and all that. And somehow, the forest decided to hide some individuals.
The forest decided
to hide some individuals. Imagine you going with the whole family, and probably, let's say, out of 5, 1 was missing, and then they search everywhere. And they knew he was in this particular spot. He never left. Probably, okay, if eventually he left, he would have given a signal that, oh, I'm coming. So it would have been like an information of his absence.
Okay.
But this one, there was nothing like that.
Disappeared.
He disappeared.
So you believe that the forest took them?
I believe, because
Okay.
there have been men who actually
And do they return?
they return, but not by days. Some took months, some took years before they return.
And they were the one telling the stories
They were the one telling the story,
that the
but the
forest
story
took them.
was not actually given like that. They kept it for a very long period of time.
So the stories were not documented.
It was not documented.
So
It
it
was
was
not
just an
documented.
oral story.
It was just something that we, as an herbal doctor, were the one who now wanted to know
What happened to
what
them?
happened, how it began.
Okay.
Because we knew that this profession was not a mere profession. It's not something you can just wake up in the morning, I want to be an herbal doctor.
So you must be choosing.
You must be choosing.
So, if I get you straight, these men didn't have the intention of becoming an herbal doctor.
No.
They were going about their normal profession.
No.
Farmers, hunters, fishermen, and then the forest
Yeah.
seized some.
See some.
And by the time they returned after some months,
And yes, thereabouts.
some years also,
Yes.
by the time they returned, they came in a different power and a different form. And they began to treat with herbs.
Yes.
And people began to see results.
Yeah.
How come we don't know these stories?
Well, you don't know the stories because men have never been bothered about the knowledge about herbs, because the medical system have taken over. So like I used to tell people, I say there's a big difference between an herbal doctor than a medical doctor. Now, if you
I was even going to ask you the difference between an herbal doctor and a native doctor.
Okay, native doctor. Well, I'll come into that. Now, let me say something clear right now. You don't go into herbal because you love it.
You don't go into herbal
Because you
because
love
you
it.
love it.
You know, for example, now we have a lot of people who are into a profession because of they love it. Some are because of the pay, the glory that surrounds those professions.
Okay.
I can give an example. If you go to secondary school now,
Okay.
ask like an half student of that class, what would you like to be? Some will tell you, I want to be a medical doctor, I want to be a nurse,
Doctor,
and there
lawyers and the rest.
lawyers and all that. Now, this profession, a profession based on love, not by calling.
Okay.
Now, but an herbal doctor, you don't go into the profession because you love it, or because of something you desire, because you saw someone doing it and you just saw the result he or she is getting, and you just decide, okay, I would like to be an herbal doctor. You are in for a disaster, because you will not be able to function well, because every herbal doctor is a gifted doctor.
That brings me to this question. Why is there always so much conflict between herbal doctors and medical doctors? Especially in the aspect, you guys disagree on a whole lot of things, especially on the aspect of cutting away body parts before healing can occur.
Well, the medical doctor made it so.
The medical doctor
Made it so. Because it have always been in a nature of an African man to downplay the knowledge of an African man.
Say that again.
I said it have always been a nature of an African man to downplay a wisdom or a knowledge of an African man.
That is
So
huge.
whatever that comes from a white country or a white man,
Yes,
that is from God.
that is from God.
That is like is a direct contact from God. So the one who comes from in an African man, that means he or she received it from the devil himself.
From the devil himself.
That means the person actually had the phone number of Lucifer himself,
So
which he always communicates with to get knowledge from.
The ancestors that disappeared to the forest that came back with the solution of herbs got it from the devil.
Now, if you are to play this clip right now,
Yes.
To a medical doctor, he will just say, what is this saying? There's no scientific proof in whatever he's saying.
Yes.
And all that. But the truth is that whether he believes it or not, life have always been spiritual.
Okay.
And treatment is spiritual. No one can give you healing. Healing is an invitation from a superior hand. The one who gives you healing might have invited that which you see. The reason why I said an herbal doctor is not a mere doctor is because the medical system operates mostly with the physical tools.
Okay.
But an herbal doctor does not operate mostly with the physical tools.
What do you mean?
When a woman has issue with her tummy,
Okay.
most especially, probably let's say fibroid, or he or she just want to know whether she's having twins or carrying one and all that. Something is going on in your womb and you just want to confirm.
Okay.
You need to go to history. You need to scan
Yes.
to be able to
Scientific.
dictate and scientifically
to know,
whatever that is going on. When in herbal field, you don't need all those things.
So what do you do?
It is necessary. Herbs has a way of giving you things that you can't explain. It has its ways of giving you things.
So with herbs, you can cure fibroids.
Yes, with herbs you can even know a patient who is likely will not survive the course of his treatment, who is likely will also die in the process of undergoing his treatment because of time frame. Because every sickness have a time frame.
This is deep.
Every sickness have a time frame. So when you are late on arrival, nothing can be done.
If you're late on arrival,
Nothing can be done.
nothing can be done.
Nothing can be done.
And it is herbs that will tell the herbal doctor. So, from everything you're saying since, are you trying to tell me and the audience that the herbs speaks the language that the medical or that the herbal doctor understands?
Yes.
You hear words from herbs.
Yes.
Dr. Prince, you hear words from herbs.
Like I said before, herbs is a realm. And what do you mean by a realm? A realm is a place where spiritual beings stays. It is there you connect and then you receive. It's not a physical world. It is not a physical world. Now, for example, as an herbal doctor, you don't necessarily need to do research to receive cure to certain sickness.
Okay.
When you are gifted, solution comes to you like a fresh money pan wine.
Solutions.
It's so easy. You don't stress for it.
Somebody with
You don't. Let me give you an illustration here now. If I have a patient that is sick, and I'll be giving he or she a particular treatment, and treatment seems not to go the way I want, what I just need to do is just for me to round up that treatment for that day and go to bed. It will be in the course of my place of sleeping I will receive.
you receive what?
I will receive a solution partaking to that problem. So I don't need to open a textbook. I don't need internet. Because the ones who surrounds these things we visit. Because every herbs has its own angels that follows it. So they knows their own.
Is herbal medicine an alternative medicine?
No.
It is not an alternative medicine.
No.
It has been preached to us that it is an alternative medicine.
Yes, like I said before, even the whites have always how will I put it? I've always worship and respect the knowledge of herbs. But it's only we Africa that overdo our things. That is why if you see a medical doctor today, there's this arrogancy that comes. And someone like me as an herbal doctor, a medical doctor does not move me. You know why? Because the knowledge by which he is operating in is the knowledge that is being bought by money. But the one higher operating, money can't give it. There's a big difference. Because I don't need a certificate to be an herbal doctor. It's just that we only live in a world whereby, based on how herbal treatment is being jeopardized, so there is now a need for certain kind of license.
Why do you think that people really do not trust herbal medicine?
People do not trust herbal medicine because of the propaganda that the medical system have always portrayed. That herbal medicine is a threat to the body. It contains all kinds of bacteria, all kinds, like they have always have all kinds of an excuse to give to an herbal medicine.
Why are you guys not fighting back?
Oh, like I used to tell people, herbs have never been bothered. Neither have it been sorrowful to a patient who have a second thought.
Herbs have
never been bothered.
Okay.
I've never been sorrowful.
Okay.
To a patient who has a second thought.
Meaning
that I don't need to beg a patient that I can use herb to treat you. Whatever decision you decide to go with, you have to live with the consequence.
You're so certain that herbs can cure a lot of things.
Herbs can do a lot. To me, I call it American wonder because it has the potency to give life to the sick. If there's anything in terms of treatment that can provide solution to a sick patient, it's herbs. A woman having breast cancer does not need operation. Operation was never part of the equation for mankind.
Say that again.
Operation was never part of the equation for mankind.
Operation was never part.
The idea alone, I keep saying it, that the idea surrounding operation, whether surgery or whatever, is demonic.
That's a big statement.
It's never something that was gotten from God. Because the same way God gives gifts, Satan too also give gifts.
Okay.
And the same way men have always have this how will I put it, like a way in connecting to God to receive. Men also have a way in connecting to the devil to receive.
Operation.
I've never been part
of the equation
for mankind. It was never part of the equation.
So what has been part of?
What have always been part of the equation for mankind is total healing without a trace of any body part being operated or amputated. You don't necessarily need your body part to be open. Because the same way herbs is medicinal, some animals is also medicinal.
So no part of the body has to be cut off.
You don't need it. You might say, oh, that that a patient is having kidney failure.
Okay.
Which sometimes we know people will say we need to do operation to and get a transplant and all that.
Yes.
There are herbs for it.
There are herbs that can help with kidney
there are
failure.
herbs that has all the potency in solving anything sickness in some total. But mind you, not every herbal doctors has the knowledge of all the sickness given to a particular individual. It was like an initiative. It was something that was being spread.
You know, that reminds me of what you said now, that it has never been the plan or part of
The
nature, or the what again?
I say operation have not been part of the
Yes,
equation.
operation has never been part
It
of
have never been.
the
equation for
the
mankind.
equation for mankind. Because remember that night that Jesus Christ was to be betrayed, right?
Yeah.
And one of the disciples ran towards the soldiers, right? Took out the sword and cut off his ear, right? Jesus never said, take him, rush down to the hospital, right? He just took the ears and slapped it back.
That is the demonstration of the word I've said so far. If it is in our own time right now, it would have been rushed to the nearby hospital.
Probably,
let's say to see if maybe the ear can be stitched.
Yes.
But do you know that even if that ear was to be stitched, it does not have the ability to make that ear look the way it was.
Completely healed without the scars.
Because every operation has a scar of its own.
Talk to me. Are you saying that when you use herbs to treat patients, you don't get scars?
No. A patient that has a scar was a patient that decided to work in the part of the medical system before he or she arrived in the herbal system.
So without first going to the medical system before coming to the herbal, so that's exactly why they say you are herbs are alternative medicine. Because when one falls sick, he first thinks of medical doctors, right? Medical doctors, and after medical doctors, when they are not able to do anything, they go to pastor, and after pastor is not able to do anything, they say look for one herbal doctor somewhere and go. Is that not why it's being called an alternative medicine?
Well,
I think you guys really need to step up your games, because people first go to medical doctors before actually coming to you guys.
The truth is that you can't change a person to stop believing what he or she wants to believe. Now, the truth have always remained. Education have also have a kind of a way by which it makes men to feel that they are more knowledgeable.
Okay.
But the truth is that they are not.
I've been hearing you mention big names here.
Yeah.
Right. Can you just tell me, right, the kind of diseases you're specialized in curing?
Okay. Disease I specialize as an herbal doctor.
The disease that you specialize
Yes,
in curing as an herbal doctor. Yes.
That I would like say, like, the experience have been there
The
for a
experience
very
has been
long time.
there for a long time. Okay.
Yes, because one thing about treatment is that you treat with an experience.
Okay.
You don't treat with emotion. Neither do you treat with how will I put it, a recent knowledge that is being given, because experience comes with all kinds of enlightenment, and it makes you understand the beginning of the problem to the end of the problem. Now, before I go further, I solve cases like stroke,
You solve cases like
leg ulcer, tuberculosis, breast cancer, diabetes, infections, stomach ulcers, infidelities, and so forth and so forth and so forth.
stomach ulcer,
Stomach ulcer,
tuberculosis, breast cancer, breast cancer.
breast cancer.
So you have to cut off the breast.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it.
Whether the cancer is in the final stage.
Now, let me come in. One of the reasons why I believe, and I've always said it over the years, that operation is demonic, is because men have always had the desire to try to compete with God. That is why we have people like scientists who they always want to cut or have a human being part just because they want to create study on it, to know one or two things that is inside this body. It was not necessary. Neither is it necessary. You don't need all the stress. For example, now, a woman who has a breast cancer, a lot of hospitals will tell you that breast must be cut off so that it will not get to the other side, blah blah. This
Yes, it must be cut off so it doesn't affect the other side.
How do you treat a human being's body like an animal?
Let me actually come in here because you have actually portrayed that herbal doctors are not mere men, and that the knowledge have been passed, and before you're an herbal doctor, you must be called into the profession.
Sometimes it's like a family stuff.
Sometimes it's a family.
It's a family inheritance.
It's a family heritage.
Yes.
Right. So, is that your case? Is that your story? Are you called, or it was just because it's a family inheritance?
How will I put it? Everything works in hand with the calling, with the family inheritance. Because if there is no family inheritance, there will not be calling in the first place.
The knowledge has been passed.
The knowledge have always been there
in that family for
generations. For example, now, if we have Mr. Okoro, whose forefather was an herbal doctor.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Okoro happens to be an herbal doctor too.
Yes.
Now, if Mr. Okoro is having like 10 children, right?
Yes.
Mr. Okoro is possible to have one of his child being an herbal doctor.
There's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
So the callings remain.
The callings remain
in that family.
The calling remains there.
So it's more like the village kind of settings also, where if your grandfather was a native doctor, one of it just keeps going down. So just a generational.
Yes, because you have always been, they call this is it a choosing one? We call it, right?
Yes.
Your family have always been the one that have been choosing to work in that profession. So you can't shy away from it. So like, neither can you deny yourself from it.
In your community now,
okay,
your family is the choosing one.
Yes.
So you are from the family of herbal doctors.
Yes.
So there's a possibility or very big chance that one of your children would also take from you.